Life will never be balanced in the way most people imagine. The sooner you accept this, the sooner you stop seeing yourself as wronged by fate. At this very moment, someone less intelligent than you is honored above you. Someone physically weaker than you holds authority. Someone with fewer abilities enjoys a life you wish for. This does not prove life's unfairness. It proves that the world follows its own order, not yours. You were taught to play by rules that others quietly abandoned. You were told to wait for recognition, while others seized it. You were told to believe in fairness, while others understood influence. Yet the true problem is not that others act as they do. It is that you expect the world to honor your expectations. The Stoics remind us, the only balance that matters is the balance within your own mind. Fairness, reputation, respect, these lie outside your control. Your control is over your thoughts, your judgments, your actions. It is not the clever, the powerful, or the manipulative who disturb your peace. It is your own belief that you need their rewards. History shows that men like Machiavelli observed the struggles for power and concluded that cunning rules over honesty. The Stoic sees the same world and concludes something different, that true strength lies in not being ruled by it at all. The empire you are called to govern is not Rome, not Florence, not the admiration of crowds. It is yourself. I once lived with anger that others overlooked me. I was diligent, honest, capable, and invisible. I saw flatterers promoted, schemers rewarded, and I burned with resentment. But resentment is a form of slavery. No man can make you a victim unless you agree to see yourself as one. The world does not hand out prizes for fairness. It does not admire your good heart. It does not protect your innocence. But ask yourself, is that truly what you seek? Or do you seek freedom? The freedom that comes from needing nothing outside yourself. This is the Stoic discovery. Power over others is fragile, but power over oneself is unshakable. If others move their pieces with calculation, let them. Your task is to remain steady, to play your own game, to live with virtue, because virtue cannot be taken from you. Do not aim to be dangerous in the eyes of the world. Aim to be unmovable in the face of it. The man who governs his mind is already untouchable. Write this down, not for me, but for yourself. I refuse to let circumstances control my peace. This is the beginning of freedom, not the freedom of the hunter chasing prey, but the freedom of the soul that cannot be captured. Number 1. Controlling the story is mental warfare. The highest power does not lie in controlling events themselves, for much is outside our control, but in determining how events are understood, explained, and remembered. Every moment admits more than one interpretation. The same deed may be called wisdom or arrogance, courage or recklessness, strength or brutality. It is not the act alone that gives meaning, but the lens through which it is seen. Most men busy themselves only with their outward actions, forgetting that the judgment of those actions often rests in the stories told about them. This is no small oversight. In the affairs of people, perception frequently outweighs the bare fact. Reflect on any dispute you've witnessed. The one who first sets forth their account with clarity and conviction often shapes the opinion of the crowd, regardless of where truth actually lies. Machiavelli observed that appearances move men more than realities. Few investigate deeply, most accept the tale given by the voice they find most credible. Thus, whoever frames the account governs the belief. If you would act with wisdom, you must also attend to how your actions are described. When you succeed, speak of the discipline, foresight, and virtue that led there, not merely of chance. When you stumble, present the gain of the lesson, not the shame of the fall. When accused, do not merely defend yourself. Recast the attack as evidence of your strength or your opponent's folly. If your choice is misunderstood, do not let others' judgments stand unchallenged. Show the principle that guided you. Consider a case. You sever ties with one who drains your spirit and disrespects your boundaries. They may spread the tale that you are selfish, that you abandoned them in their need. If you leave the story untended, others may accept their account. But if you speak plainly, I set boundaries to preserve my peace and to live in accordance with reason, then the very same act appears not as cruelty, but as self-command. To govern the story is not to deceive, but to ensure your deeds are seen through the light of reason rather than the shadow of rumor. This requires foresight, to act with principle, and also to prepare for how your principle will be portrayed. For if you do not direct the narrative, another surely will, and they may not place it in harmony with virtue. Number 2. The idea of fairness is a mental trap. Here is a truth most resist. What men call fairness is often no more than a tale told to pacify and govern them. Each time you wait for others to reward you out of fairness, another steps forward and takes what you desired. Each time you bind yourself to rules you did not make, others discard them and act according to their advantage. Each time you expect kindness to return as kindness, the calculating exploit your predictability. You are taught that such patience makes you virtuous. In practice, it leaves you vulnerable. Examine your own life. How often have you shown respect to one who gave you none? How often have you offered help and received nothing in return? How often have you stood waiting while others advanced without shame? These are not accidents. They reveal the error of expecting a world to act according to your private sense of justice. Machiavelli observed that men must either be treated with complete generosity or struck with such force that they cannot rise against you. His lesson was not about weapons, but about the mind. Wound another's pride lightly, and they plot revenge. Confront them with decisive strength, and they cease to resist. The common mistake is to act with half measures, to answer force with timid gestures, to set weak boundaries with the domineering, to reason with those who honor only advantage. This path brings the worst outcome. You appear feeble, yet you still provoke resentment. True strength of mind does not waste itself on justifying or pleading. If another disrespects you, let your conduct make clear that it is unwise to persist. Do not bargain with those who refuse to see your worth. Do not plead for recognition. Instead, arrange matters so that respect for you is to their benefit, and disrespect carries a cost they would rather not pay. Do not cling to fairness where none exists. Act with reason, not with illusion. Deal with people according to how they reveal themselves, not according to how you wish they would be. To live by this discipline is not cruelty, it is clarity. Number 3. Bold action builds mental superiority. This is where many squander their influence. They scatter their strength in constant, feeble gestures instead of conserving it for rare and decisive acts. The undisciplined mind issues endless threats it never fulfills. It repeats warning after warning until others learn there is no consequence behind the noise. It tries to sway through pleading, complaining, or guilt. The result is predictable. Your voice becomes empty air, heard but never respected. The disciplined mind follows a different course. It does not waste itself in continual protest. Its warnings are few, but when it does act, the action is unmistakable, sharp, measured, and remembered. Machiavelli counseled that if harm must be dealt, it should be such that no reprisal is possible. Translated to the life of the mind, if you must demonstrate your strength, do it with such clarity and finality that no one mistakes your resolve again. Take an example. Imagine one in your company who repeatedly mocks or dismisses you. The weak response is to plead with them, grow agitated, or complain behind their back. All this only feeds their sense of power, for they see that they can disturb your peace without consequence. The stronger path is different. You endure in silence until the pattern is clear. Then, at the right moment, you act once, without malice but with force. Perhaps you call out their behavior before others, so that their ridicule rebounds upon themselves. Perhaps you exclude them from something they prize. Perhaps you redirect the group so that their disrespect loses its audience. The exact form matters less than this. Your action outweighs every petty slight, and it teaches the lesson once for all. From then on, others understand. To cross you is costly. They see also that you are not a man of idle threats, but of deliberate deeds. This principle holds in every realm where influence exists. Do not scatter your strength in endless explanations. Do not chase recognition with constant noise. Instead, make few moves, but when you make them, let them carry the weight of finality. Let your reputation be not of loud words, but of decisive action. Number 4. Predictable consequences build psychological authority. The truest form of influence is not born of anger, threats, or cunning. It arises from establishing firm principles where actions bring inevitable outcomes. This is mastery of the mind, for it removes your moods and impulses from the equation. Opinions can be debated, emotions can be distorted, but a steady rule applied without exception cannot be argued away. If your authority depends on shouting, scolding, or threatening, you surrender control to others. They need only provoke you to bend your will. They can pull at your emotions, bargain with your reactions, and watch you exhaust yourself. But if your authority rests upon clear conditions, respect opens doors, disrespect closes them, you remain in command. Machiavelli observed rightly, "The wise ground their power in what lies within their control, not in the shifting hands of others." In practice, this means, if someone disregards your time, you do not quarrel. You simply withdraw your time when they ask for it. If someone exploits your kindness, you no longer extend it, but reserve it for the grateful. If someone mistreats you, you do not waste your strength persuading them to change. You arrange matters so that good treatment benefits them and poor treatment harms them. Consider this example. Companions often ask you to plan gatherings, yet they cancel late or arrive without care for your effort. A reactive man fumes, complains, or scolds. A disciplined man lets the system speak. He only plans with those who honor their word. Those who waste his energy quietly lose their place. No punishment is announced, no anger displayed. The order itself governs the result. Those who value his effort continue to receive it. Those who do not lose it. This is psychological authority, conduct so steady that others naturally adjust themselves to remain in harmony with it. They cannot fight the system, for it is consistent and unmoved by passion. And once such principles are set, they require little effort to maintain. You no longer argue or repeat yourself. The consequences carry their own weight. Establish order where the way others treat you directly shapes the access they have to your presence. Let natural cause and effect do the teaching. Number 5. Ruthlessness is control over your emotions. Many mistake ruthlessness for rage, loud outbursts, red faces, uncontrolled tempers. In truth, genuine ruthlessness is the opposite. It is composure. It is discipline so firm that passion never carries you away. The ruthless man does not explode in anger. He studies, he measures, he turns insult into opportunity. He is not driven by wounded pride, but by deliberate choice. His compass is not emotion, but reason, and reason directs him toward what serves his purpose. Those who live at the mercy of their feelings never hold real influence. They reveal themselves too easily, and any observer can master them by pressing the right buttons. Each outburst is a surrender of power. The Stoic sees emotions for what they are, natural signals, not commands. Anger may rise, grief may come, frustration may burn, but none of these dictates the action. Action is ruled by reason alone. Consider when someone seeks to shame you before others. The undisciplined man lashes out, rushes to justify himself, or quarrels openly. In doing so, he gives the aggressor what they sought, his composure lost, his weakness exposed. The disciplined man proceeds otherwise. He feels the sting, but pauses, asks, "What response diminishes my foe's standing while strengthening my own?" Sometimes the answer is silence, showing that the provocation is beneath notice. Sometimes it is a brief and measured reply that reveals the attacker's foolishness. Sometimes it is the calm dignity that contrasts so sharply with the other's malice that the crowd sees clearly where strength resides. The essence is this: the reply is chosen, never compelled. Machiavelli counseled that if injury must be given, it should be decisive and final, not drawn out. So too in the life of the mind. When you must answer an attack, let the act be sharp, clean, and conclusive. Do not be dragged into endless quarrels. Do not let drama govern your days. Deliver the single, reasoned move that ends the contest. Reflect on those you recognize as truly powerful in spirit. Do they storm and rage? Do they hand their composure to others? No, they remain masters of themselves. They choose carefully when to engage, and they engage with strategy, not impulse. This discipline of the passions is one of the highest forms of strength. For when others discover they cannot shake your calm, they begin to tread carefully. They grant you respect, not because you demand it, but because they know you cannot be ruled. Hold fast, then, to mastery of your emotions. Let others lose themselves in fury. You be still, be deliberate, and let your chosen actions speak with greater force than any outburst ever could. Number 6. Controlling perception means controlling reality. This is among the highest forms of influence. Understanding that what others perceive of you often carries more weight than what is privately true. Many men waste themselves on the hope that by simply being good, the world will somehow recognize their worth. This is folly. Human judgment is swift and shallow. Few will ever study your inner character. Most form their opinion from the surface, from signals, and from stories told by others. If you neglect this, another will shape the image of you, and not to your advantage. Machiavelli observed rightly, all men see how you appear, few know what you truly are. For most, your appearance is your essence, your reputation is your armor, and your weapon. What they believe of you becomes, in practice, who you are in their dealings. The disciplined and sharp-minded grasp this. They do not leave their image to chance. They do not wait for truth to announce itself. They take care to display their real strengths in ways that others can see. This is not falsehood. It is wisdom in presentation. Consider two who achieved the same victory. One shares it with clarity and poise, the other hides it, believing merit alone will speak. Which one gathers respect and opportunity? The one who guides perception. In daily life, perception begins before words. Your bearing, your eyes, your tone, the manner of your dress, these proclaim your place before you utter a thought. Enter with upright posture, steady gaze and measured speech, and men take you as worthy of notice. Enter with slumped shoulders, restless eyes, and faltering voice, and you silently teach them to dismiss you. The principle is simple. You train others in how to treat you. Perception management is not loud boasting, but careful curation. Share your victories in ways that frame your competence. Let failures be lessons quietly absorbed. Attach yourself to people and pursuits of substance so that their standing reflects upon you. Keep some reserve so that others, unable to see the whole, imagine more than is there. And when nerves arise within, carry yourself outwardly with composure, for confidence steadies the crowd while insecurity unsettles it. Your reputation is not to be neglected. It is one of your most powerful resources. Guard it with vigilance, cultivate it with intention, and wield it with restraint. Number 7. Mental dominance is stronger than being liked. This truth will shatter the habit of living to please others. To be respected is far greater than to be liked. When people merely like you, they gamble freely with your feelings, believing you will always pardon their offenses. But when they respect your strength of mind, they tread with caution, knowing that to cross you is to pay a cost. The agreeable man feels safe to others. He is predictable, pliable, easy to exploit, for everyone knows he will not defend himself with firmness. The disciplined man, however, is different. He is not easily read, and he is not easily swayed. Men approach him carefully, for they know he is neither prey nor plaything, but one who will guard his ground. Look among your companions and colleagues. Who holds the true respect of others? Is it the one who always seeks to be pleasant, or the one whose presence compels attention? When decisions are to be made, whose voice carries weight? The one who agrees with all, or the one whose judgment is valued? Machiavelli spoke plainly. It is safer to be feared than loved, if one must choose. This is not cruelty. It is the steady reputation of a man whose fairness is matched by his firmness, and whose boundaries are not to be tested. In daily practice, the distinction is clear. The agreeable man says yes when he wishes to say no, fearing disapproval. The disciplined man refuses without shame, guarding his time and interest. The agreeable man endures disrespect in silence, hoping it will fade. The disciplined man halts it at once, with measured resolve. The agreeable man seeks every invitation. The disciplined man appears only where his presence is chosen with care, knowing it has weight. The agreeable man explains himself endlessly. The disciplined man acts, and others adapt. The inner shift is profound. You cease asking, will they like me if I do this? And begin asking, does this action preserve or diminish my standing? You stop laboring to keep everyone at ease and you accept that sometimes others must be unsettled if your position is to remain firm. You cease hungering for their approval, and you become the one whose approval they strive to earn. This is not license to become harsh or unjust. It is the resolve to make your respect something of value, not a coin thrown to all. Build your authority of mind by showing again and again that your standards and your limits are fixed. Let others seek your regard rather than exhausting yourself in pursuit of theirs. Number 8. Silent control is the highest form of power. This is the final and most vital principle. True command of the mind works without display. Those who loudly proclaim their strength, wisdom, or courage betray their lack of it. They announce what they wish to possess, not what they actually hold. Genuine strength requires no trumpet. Genuine influence works in silence. Real authority is sensed, not declared. Often the most formidable person in a gathering is the one who speaks least. While others boast, they observe. While others react, they calculate. While others posture, they prepare. Recall the truly powerful people you have encountered. Did they remind you at every turn of their reach? Did they parade their victories or threaten constantly to secure obedience? No. Their strength was assumed. Their influence was proven in outcomes. Their authority was carried in presence, not in noise. Machiavelli wrote that the lion cannot guard against snares, nor the fox against wolves. To prevail, you must have the cunning of the fox and the strength of the lion, and shift between them so fluidly that none perceive the change. In practice, this means opponents discover their loss only after it is sealed. Allies reap benefits without seeing how you arranged them. Enemies realize their weakness only once their power has already waned. Quiet mastery looks like this. You extend your reach without proclaiming your intent. You place yourself advantageously without revealing your strategy. You learn of others while keeping your own designs hidden. You form alliances that strengthen you while remaining invisible to rivals. You diminish those who oppose you without their knowing how. This is not deceit. It is the discipline of silence. Loud transparency makes you vulnerable, while careful reserve keeps you free. By practicing silent authority, you cause others to sense your weight without knowing its source. In their eyes, your influence becomes natural, inevitable, and beyond contest. Build the empire of your mind in stillness. Let others exhaust themselves in clamor and spectacle. You move quietly, act deliberately, and let results speak in your place. Demonstrate your strength through deeds, not declarations. The final and highest truth is this: if you neglect the unseen laws of influence that govern human affairs, those who understand them will govern you. This is not speculation. It is the contest of minds that unfolds every day. Even now, as you consider these words, others employ these principles to advance themselves over the unprepared. The cunning exploit those who cling to the illusion of fairness. The disciplined surpass those who believe good intentions outweigh clear strategy. The decision is stern yet simple. Learn the workings of influence and use them with discipline, or remain the instrument of others' designs. You have been conditioned to think that knowledge of power corrupts, but this thought serves the advantage of those already dominant, who profit from your naivete and predictability. Each day spent hesitating is a day yielded to someone sharper, steadier, and more resolved. Each time you mistake pliant niceness for strength, you place your authority in the hands of those who interpret kindness as weakness. The world does not reward innocence unguarded. It requires men and women who see clearly, act wisely, and cannot be shaken from their ground. If these truths strike you, do not linger in reflection alone. Resolve to live by them. Write within yourself a vow: I will not submit my mind to the control of others, but go further than refusal. Practice command. The decision lies with you, but delay is itself a decision. And while you wait, others are already setting the terms of your life.